didn't really have enough to outlast the 4-player surge that still needed to come.
And if you're just joining us and you're new competitive Fortnite and you don't know how Storm Surge works, there's a leaderboard of players' damage that is kept throughout the match, and there's certain thresholds that need to be hit by a zone. If it's above 50 in this half-in, half-out zone, it'll activate and it'll start doing damage to those players. You saw that lightning kind of come down and start to take HP away from Froggy. He was able to do enough damage, and it dropped below the threshold that he was able to stop getting damaged and able to move about on his rotate. You saw Tux pick up an elimination as well. He was also in contention from getting dropped down below that leaderboard and being below Storm Surge threshold, which was really good. And that's why you see a lot of these players make plays that normally they wouldn't go for. They're sitting up in a really good spot. They've got a good box, but they have to go aggressive because they're below Storm Surge.
Sometimes that's a opportunity for other players to get an easy elim on somebody who's desperate to stay above that. Regardless, that's done for now. We got another one in the 7th zone. It'll be 30 players need to go down. And of course, trying to see who's going to put themselves in a good position. Xweeze looks like he's about to be taking height. He's in a fight up there right in front, and it's Peach who takes down the player who took down Mr. Savage earlier. That might be a fight that's consequential for him holding high ground, especially given the fact that the 6th zone, the first full moving zone going up and north over towards the river, Tux will dive in a box as well, and that was not the right move, but he had 0 materials to actually make anything work, so he had to try something.
And he tried whatever he could. It just, you know, at that moment, with that little build, there's not much you can do. Squeeze, on the other hand, is dominating these late-game fights. With Zone barely starting to move, he's looking for frags already. You see, he does control high ground right now. Nobody really noticing that. He's got the launch pad to use just to get in. Doesn't want to waste those materials, as you see. Not very healthy. We do see Benji Fishy going to fall in that elim feed as well. As we take a look, that actually is Robabs there, the train hard player on your screen, getting word. As now a player that definitely needs to perform here today is Slender. No eliminations, but he does have those placement points.
Crash batting ahead, back up onto a mid-ground layer, but this mid-ground layer is not the spot he needs to be, because if he gets pressured once, oh, never mind, he goes into a box. I don't know how he found that gap, but Janice is not paying attention, and Slender will get back into this. 25 builds now to play, and he can actually play the layer that he wanted to.
That is amazing there for him. He's going to recycle that crash pad as well. Don't really have to use a lot of matches. The layer changes come through. What I'm worried about for him is he is on that second height. He's got to be careful about that. He still has that RPG, though, which is going to cause a lot of chaos down below. We haven't really seen much of it this season in solos because you can only get it from the Marauders. So he's able to take advantage of that. And elimination comes through onto Milan as well. 1 rocket left. He needs to find a rocket impact elimination below him where he can pick up these mats and get these builds. Because right now he needs that, and he picks up another one as well.
He's finding these players who are so low HP, and he still has 3 floppers if he does want to go pick up that loot from both Milan and the player he just took out in zone. But switching gears, looking at everybody else in this, we do have the player from yesterday, and Swee's still alive. 3 eliminations for him still. He's gotten another one, and he picked up the glider gun from the Authority off of the last player he got the impact off of. Now time for floppers, and he'll get ahead right back into the zone and potentially find even more, but a full low ground position, not exactly the most optimal spot for him.
And you see him immediately recognize that and get out of it. He said, I have to get up. I have to get out of this awkward area where I don't really have a full box, and I need to get ahead of zone. That's exactly what he's doing. 7 Tour is going to fall to Andilix. And Squeeze is only on 1 build. He has to get another impact frag. And there it is. There's another one. And this is going to be another one. And it is on to save it. Light and save it. Back to back, going down another one in the box. Can Squeeze get out? I think he can. The edits are going to come through, and he does get out.
How fast can you be? Unfortunately, it's not fast enough because he goes to a different layer and there's Steelix waiting for him. He almost got out of that, but there's Andalex activated. He's gotten 3, and he's down on a low ground layer with Nate. 2 of the FNCS champions from duos, both of them teammates prior to this, now going in solos on the low ground layer, and they're fighting off against each other, but they've also put so many low HP players still moving forward. Players trying to make sure that they can get up the elevation. Refsguard on height, I believe, just took out Thomas HD. Now they're down, and he's continuing. He's got 5 elims of his own.
And he picked up Kid's Shockwave Launcher. That is so crucial to recognize. he is going to be able to fire those down and just throw people into zone. But the backhand, Cammy looking really good. He's got the floppers, so he can withstand the shockwaves in the zone. He's playing hard for placement right now, hard for that zone. You see him just breaking through builds, not trying to expose anything, not looking for any peaks. The sights are going through. Rescard going to get challenged by Stormy right, and he's going to fall. Rescard with 6 eliminations now, looking very, very good. Cammy still alive with 4. Another player down below. This is coming down to that last zone, the last 20 seconds of the game. Cammy has been exposed from the high ground position, but he's got enough floppers that it doesn't really matter. Rescard is not looking down and breaking down just yet. He's not optimally using that shockwave launcher. He's kind of just going over these old builds and now going to use it a little bit later there. You heard one player go into zone. This is really good for Rescard, but Cammy's got the floppers. Cammy has 2 floppers compared to this. As floppers are going to be used, he's got the HP advantage. This is going to go over to Cammy because he's got 1 more flopper remaining.
Yeah, that's it. Rescard will go down, but a well-fought battle for so many. Cammy with a good idea in these final moments when it's a 1v1v1 situation and going over so many old builds and already having the flopper. Knows that that HP